Greetings, I'm Solidus-Skully, and welcome back to the Kingdom Hearts 2 commentary. First things first, before we do anything, we have a new summon! Peter Pan! I will show you the world, and that is the wrong movie. What makes the red man red? No wait, that is a racist song. But yeah, Peter Pan, I was initially gonna shit on this summon, but well, you'll see why I've come to respect Peter Pan when we battle the Lingering Will. I don't want to spoil anything, but yeah, he saved my ass. Again, what Peter Pan's basic attacks are basically, again, he can pretty much pit people with his dagger and he'll cause them to drop HP balls. Which again is already quite useful, but at the same time though, there is also a passive ability that I forgot to show in Kingdom Hearts 1 whenever I used Tinkerbell, but this time around, you'll get to see it. Don't you worry. Actually, like, while we're on the subject of what's going on here, first of all, I finally got to show off that deflect shot reaction command. You know, with the shotgun and deflecting bullets back into people. Apparently guns are bad unless you deflect the shots, or do a Greedo shot first thing, whatever. But anyway, onto our main objectives that we're gonna be seeing in just a few seconds, so I guess I'll just have to, excuse me, and shut the fuck up. Enjoy.
A medallion! Get it!
Well, this won't take very long since it's just a solitary nobody. But yeah, those nobodies belong to Luke Sword, and this is pretty much a taste of what you're gonna be doing for the rest of this world. A hunt for the medallions. A treasure hunt, mateys.
Three more to go.
How do you know?
A pirate must have a keen eye, else he won't be sailing free for very long. Savvy?
What? What's that?
Ahoy, mateys!
Ridiculous imitation, and yet I'm flattered.
Oh, hiya, James Arnold Taylor. But yes, indeedy, as, again, Sora, Donald, Goofy, and Jack, and, gonna be discussing with Elizabeth and Bootlegger Bill's son. Yeah, since, Luke Sword's nobodies all have the medallions, we pretty much gotta hunt down his nobodies and, well, pretty much chase them down. And then arrive back in Port Royal for the final confrontation, as they're probably gonna discuss by the time we find them all. What this entails is pretty much utilizing the ship to its fullest extent. By which I mean basically going to several different locations across, again, Port Royal, I think it's also the Island of Death, and then of course the ship graveyard, where we, you know, just have to tackle people, get the medallions, and make sure that, again, we return the gold to whence it came, and ensure that nobody can misuse its power ever again. Which I'm guessing is probably the only reason why we have pirates as our enemies, because, I mean, they can't be of Barbossa's crew, because again, they should pretty much be gone by this point. But again, why they're cursed by the Aztec gold, I have no idea. We do get an explanation for it a little bit later on, but I guess maybe they're implied to be the people who were there at the beginning, you know, when Sora and Jack first fought against that thing, but that's neither here nor there in this case. I suppose I'll probably talk a little bit more about Luke Sword's nobodies when we get there, but in the meantime, yeah, that Heartless boss. I shudder just to think about it, and it's probably going to take up the longest chunk of, well, game time, if that makes any sense. But regardless of such, again, you do have a pretty easy tell to, well, again, like, right there, pretty much. Oh, and I guess I finally showcase one of the things. Again, you can pretty much just go back into the cargo hold and avoid confrontations, unless they're mandatory. Oh, so I guess we can't avoid it. Well, actually no, we're back in the ship graveyard, so it doesn't really matter. Anyway, Luke Sword's nobodies. They actually have a... Okay, they would have had an interesting reaction command, because, again, given Luke Sword's status as the Gambler of Fate, again, with his nobodies, you can actually choose to play, games with them. And it's pretty much a precursor to what Luke Sword's boss fight is gonna be. Again, you can pretty much have, like, a well, what would you call it? It's pretty much a game of guessing the correct card to, again, get the advantage on your enemies and take them down no sweat fast. Or it's a game of dice where, again, if you lose, you suffer a penalty game. By which point it's basically turning Sora either into a card where he can barely attack, or a die where Sora's face is very panicked and, well, he can't really do anything. So yeah, I mean, pretty interesting gimmick, although again it can lead to a bit of frustration. Particularly when you get to the organization data battle of Luxor, because, oh boy, the data battles are hard already, and stapling on a gimmick of gambling is, well, a bit of a pain in the ass, especially if you're not a very good gamer. Yami no game. Well, Sora already is playing Yami no game, and he suffered the penalty. Ah, Magnet, you are my Jesus juice. Making these pirates who have a rather bullshit na you can't hit me state all the more easier to deal with. And I'm continuing to misuse, Reflect. Again, I mean, I will say this, again, Reflect can be incredibly powerful if you time it right, but the problem is, if you don't have very good timing, well, you might just find yourself pissing in the wind. So, again, like, you might hear from a lot of Kingdom Hearts players that Reflect is kind of broken in this game, but... And I mean, you know, it is, to some extent. Wow, what tonal contrast to see the beautiful Hawaii contrasted with the dark and dour sea. Yes, let's play some music with the guitar, Keyblade. Oh shit, I forgot what I was gonna say. Thank Nomino. There we go. This is pretty much just me trying to get more usage out of my summons, and as I wish I was to say this right out of the gate, like again, initially I didn't really use much of my summons, if at all, during my original playthroughs of Kingdom Hearts 2. I showed them off here mainly because, you know, I'm doing a commentary, so I kind of feel obligated to do so, but yeah, they actually come in a lot more useful than I thought it did. I mean, like, having the HP balls and, again, utilizing some of the invincibility, not invincibility frames, but I guess maybe some of the invulnerability time that the summons do give you while you have them on, it's quite useful. And something I don't think I mentioned beforehand is that, again, you can continue to upgrade summons to last a little bit longer as you continue to use them. Like, I mean, again, you have to upgrade them individually, obviously. Like, I mean, again, having Chicken Little upgrade is not going to be the same as having Stitch or Peter Pan or whatever, you know, getting upgraded. But again, they do have veritable perks and bonuses, and again, it makes them quite fun to use. Like, I mean, Genie is obviously great for his offensive capabilities and his drive form mimicry. Stitch, I think, is good for, you know, preserving yourself and getting a bit of health. Peter Pan, well, you'll just have to wait until the Lingering Lore to see why that summon is useful. I mean, again, the only real wink link in terms of summons, I think, is Chicken Little, and that's primarily because... Well, I mean, I guess either the fact that the movie wasn't out at Japan at the time, since it was 2005, they didn't really know what he could do apart from baseball and firecrackers, which I don't even remember him using in the Chicken Little movie, but that would also imply that I have to watch Chicken Little again, and quite frankly, fuck that. Oh, by the way, there is actually one little caveat when utilizing your medallions, and yeah, the medallions can actually get knocked right out of you, so yeah, you gotta pick them up or defeat the enemy that collects it before you. So yeah, it doesn't necessarily turn the game into like a no-hit damage run, but it does mean that you do kind of have to, you know, collect your stuff and make sure you keep a good eye on your gear, because otherwise, well, you're pretty much screwed, dude, with a capital screw. And again, I will never get tired of hearing that Pirates of the Caribbean theme, especially in the final mix version. I mean, it makes me feel a bit apprehensive about going back to Kingdom Hearts 2 vanilla version, because the MIDI, it's a close enough replication of the original song, but the sound font just kind of lets it down a little bit. And I mean, even in that case, like, the PS2 was capable of more.
That's 4 medallions. We got them all.
But where's the chest?
If we find the hooded man, we'll find it.
Probably in Port Royal.
Why's that?
Organization 13 is after people's hearts, so they're gonna go wherever there's lots of people.
They'll hurt the townsfolk?
No, they're bringing them flowers, mate. I don't know who these organizers are, but I will say they're making we pirates look like proper gents.
Well, Jack. Then, we have to help.
Then let go and hold her run free!
That was probably the most James Arnold Taylor Captain Jack has ever sounded in his life. And never again. But yeah, anyway, we're pretty much done here, so now we have to go to Port Royal and save the day from Luke Sword and his Heartless. Well, I mean, it's not specifically his Heartless, it's just the Heartless he summoned for the purposes of his adventures in this world, and by God, it doesn't have an annoying gimmick the second time around. We were able to kick its ass relatively well the first time, but oh boy, it's gonna suck battling it this time. Why is that? Well, you're gonna find out soon, but first we must have our wistful rest as we eat another puzzle piece and, I don't know, just sort of recuperate. What do you have to say, Will? Oh, we've gotta do the thing, can't let them run loose in town. Okay, I mean, we don't want them to turn into heartless and nobodies, so that's purpose enough, I suppose. Okay, come on, Captain Jack, as played by Johnny Depp, as opposed to Rick Mile, Christopher Walken, or Jim Carrey. Let's go.
Go, he's for me.
Now, to break that curse.
The curse! It's gone!
Then what's this?
Oh, I understand. Jack must have been cursed by that monster, not from taking the gold.
Oh, I've no worries then.
It's okay, Jack. We'll just have to defeat the monster, that's all.
Get the gold!
Well, you heard, Captain Jack, we're gonna get the gold, which is how I feel every day when I go to work and hope for a paycheck. But yeah, this is where the gimmicky part comes in. Now, you pretty much need to make sure that all the gold remains within the chest so that you can actually damage the boss. And I think you've seen right then and there why this boss fight is a bit of a pain in the ass, because as you can see here, he's immune to magic and physical attacks because he has this no, you can't hit me state that is entirely based around whether or not you can get the gold back in the chest. The only way you can get the gold out of him is by using your magical abilities. Unless you have a fair few ethers or elixirs stocked on your person to refill, yeah, this becomes a bit of a problem. Especially considering that periodically, this boss has a tendency to use a little tornado attack that will, again, suck all the gold coins out of it, either get it into his body, or just scatter it around the arena. Again, the boss fight in and of itself is not too hard. I mean, again, it has a few ferocious attacks. But yeah, when you can't hit it like that, it makes stuff like Valor Form a bit useless, so again, you can't do a lot of damaging attacks. And yeah, you basically gotta stop it by reaction command. Again, a pretty cool reaction command, but it does lose a bit of its power when you tend to see it just sort of buggering about all over the place. I mean, again, you can get a fair majority of the gold back, but at the same time, it's not going to be all of it, so it's basically just a race of waiting for your MP to recharge and making sure that it doesn't get too much gold so you can hit it effectively. So again, it's not too bad of a boss fight, it's just frustrating because again, it just has to, oh no, I'm invincible now, I'm gonna suck the gold, you don't wanna know. So again, it does kind of end the Pirates of the Caribbean world on a bit of a damp squib, but I don't want to say it's negligible, but it's just a tad irritating, to be honest. No, don't do that, don't be a... Yeah, it's weird, I very rarely get it to activate that attack. I wonder if it's meant to be based on anything in the movie, but I doubt it. Still, I mean, it does make for a very effective and cool-looking boss, though, so... I suppose it does its job in some fashion or another. Yeah, in hindsight, though, I probably should have had Donald out for this fight, because, well, I mean, while I'm sure his MP probably would have ran out eventually, he probably would have aided me a little bit more in, you know, getting the boss to drop some more of, the medallions. Oh, I probably shouldn't have healed there. But again, that's kind of the risk-reward thing you kind of have to do with this boss. Again, you gotta deal between either, like, preventing yourself from taking damage or preserving your MP to, you know, heal up or whatever. And I guess maybe that might have been the intent, to make the boss fight have a little bit more of a risk-reward factor, but it's more of an irritation to prolonging the boredom factor. It's decently fun to play, but it's just drawn out, really, and that... It just kind of sucks the fun out of it, to be perfectly honest. Dear God. What a warm summer night. Or at least so I presume. I mean, it is Pirates of the Caribbean, and the Caribbean seems like it'd be pretty hot during the night. Whee! We've seen that how many times? Again, there's only so much I can really talk about, but the boss fight is coming towards a close, so yes. I mean, I suppose maybe to kind of summarize my thoughts on Pirates of the Caribbean as a world in Kingdom Hearts 2, a lot of people are quite negative on it, but I don't know. I mean, I like the characters enough, I enjoy the bond between Sora and Captain Jack Daniels well enough, so... And again, you're actually going to be seeing a bit of that in the ending cutscene, so... I don't know. I guess to me, like, a lot of the strength of the world either lives and dies by the quality of its game design, which I think in terms of Pirates of the Caribbean was fairly unique, you know. It does make the world feel particularly memorable, so again, I have no real complaints here. My editor just lagged, so I'm worried that my dialogue might have been skipped. I do apologize for that, but oh, hold still, buddy. Come on, your end is inevitable. Release the gold and let us finally kill you. Because we are the Cybermen, we will destroy you. Yeah. Actually, this thing doesn't really have as many much defensive capability. See, look, we just completely trashed it, so, yeah, its defenses were kind of crap. But in any case, I'll let you enjoy the cutscene and, catch you dudes and dudettes next time. Bye-bye.
All better.
And not quite, mate.
Sora! Bravo!
Just who was that chap?
He is part of an organization that's collecting hearts. First, they release Heartless into different worlds. We defeat those Heartless, then they get the hearts. We're never gonna stop them like this.
What's the plan, then?
We gotta find their stronghold and finish them off, once and for all.
Sail in these waters, I've heard some tales, but not a one like this.
Is there any way we can help?
Anything at all.
There is. It's certain we don't need the likes of that hooded fellow and the Heartless about. They'll ruin the market for us true pirates.
So that's why you went to Port Royal. And we thought you actually wanted to save everyone.
A pirate always looks to profit, Miss Swan.
Too bad. You had us going there thinking you'd turned over a new leaf.
The question is, what's beyond the leaf, savvy?
Oh yes. A reward. And what'll it be?
That lovely blade of Sora's.
Huh? Okay, sure.
Hold on, that was far too easy. What's the rub? Now there, you see?
Well, you've always got the pearl, Jack.
That I do. But someday I'll gather a bloodthirsty crew and come to take that blade. Chance by then, I'll have the way to wield it. And if I succeed, I'll ask you two to join me. That'd be reward enough.
Done.
Maybe someday Jack will be able to use the Keyblade after all.
Why's that?
He and Sora are kind of alike, don't you think?
Are not?
Some say Jack Sparrow's the worst pirate ever to sail the Spanish Main.
No one could really mean that.
Right. We know he's the best.
I hope we'll get to see him again.
Port Royal will be right back after these messages.
One brilliant New York morning, CSI Mac Taylor will finally realize what it's like to be in the crime scene. Will he get away alive? The season final, CSI New York, 9:30 Tuesday on 9.